Drawing lang daw. So let's check. Architecture 5 years to 10 years school. 2 to 3 years apprenticeship. 3 to 6 months review. Board exam. Oath taking registration for license. Highlighted in yellow are those that involve mainly mathematics or construction problem solving through math, as well as our major plates, which is design, graphics, especially business taxation, that's also math, plane surveying related to geodetic, mechanical heat, sound, acoustics, and lighting, theory of structures and structural design for reinforced concrete, wood, timber, and steel. Now, the engineering basics are taught usually by engineers, and we also have engineering classmates. That's why after architecture, it only takes 2 years to finish an engineering course because our early subjects are basically the same. Those who keep asking about math subjects, yes, you saw the yellow highlighted ones. If you go back and see italicized ones, they are mainly involvement for individual and group communication skills. So yes, English and presentation skills as well as public speaking are needed. Now design is like a thesis every 2 weeks, and you have to show it with a scale model, presentation board, conceptual drawings, feasibility study, space programming, and experiential learning plus CAD work such as modeling and animation. Building tech relies more on your site works and technologies used in construction, materials, and details. Now, later, as an architect, you could choose to specialize. We have mainly three specialization subjects from urban planning, facilities design, construction management, project management, estimation, and so forth. AE, our architecture engineering subjects, are engineering applications supporting the architectural approaches. Heavy math, mechanics, shear moment diagram, and we have integrated and differential calculus, physics, and the like. Now, early subjects like the humanities, history of architecture are fun because you get to do scale models, drawings, renders, and learn cultural aspects. Subjects like graphics earn you techniques and standards in drawing for construction, while many still hate math and English, it can be learned. The grave situation in Archie is that, especially if you're alone, you need to learn time management skills, just like you're taking up law and medicine without any pre law or pre medicine degree. That's the reality of architecture. Sabak agad. So, as much as possible, avoid unnecessary parties, but the first year Archie should be able to wash his own clothes, cook quite well, iron his clothes, and do anything quite well. Not really an expert, but just quite well will survive you through. Many times you will learn to work with fellow artists. No sleeping, almost 2 days, because many subjects sabay-sabay, scale models, and the like. So we learn to really be patient. One thing I noticed in school, madaming nagkakantin or lumalabas habang may pasok because that's their only time to socialize, or only at night do their creativity come out. Kaya madaming late nagpapas, they keep cramming, puyat kasi hindi magawa sa classroom kadalasan. Nasa canteen kumakain or doing other group works or lakwatsa muna. Now, there will come a time where your family, friends, or colleagues may lose their support for you, but you still have to prioritize graduating. Mahirap mag-extracurricular, especially in trimestral. We have 3 terms in a year. Sometimes, too much free time, like in semestral, may not also mean productivity. May mga tinatamad because the time of free time is too long. So they do other things instead of focusing. Now I wish when I was in first year, I wish people told me about 2 year apprenticeship before taking the board exam. Pinakamahabang parang OJT and internship of architecture after graduation. So some of us start apprenticeship while studying for experience and passing the subjects because our instructors are very like clients in the real world. Some are unfair, some don't understand, and some want us to have experience. But now apprenticeship is counted after graduation. In apprenticeship, you will choose a mentor who will teach you. Well, many teach you to learn by yourself for 2 years minimum, and kailangan architect, not engineer, not real estate. Kasi project ng architect na yun na pumirma ang ilalagay sa logbook. Sometimes you will give salary to construction workers. Sometimes you're the draftsman, site supervisor, co-workers and associates of engineers, or purchaser of materials. But mostly you represent the architect and the owner in the project. These are the plans you will learn to draft not only in architectural, all the way to electronic, sanitary, mechanical, electrical, civil, or structural. And these things you will learn to coordinate with the engineers. So we are actually friends. Basically, the application of what you learned in school, the basics of all engineering, arts, and architectural systems, in order to design better for construction. Now, often you will prepare construction drawings for building permits. Some mentors may allow you to handle the client directly, apply for electricity, water, signature, permits, but never ever let the civil engineer sign the architectural permit. Meron kasing architectural permit dati and I think binabalik na nila ngayon, as the architect does not sign engineering permits. Well, in the early 1970s, 80s, the law was different. Finally, after apprenticeship, you want to take the board exam. You can opt for a review center, 3 or 6 months, and then pass the exam and get your license afterwards. But the most important aspect to be molded in your journey is not only the skill, but a good name and attitude, a code of conduct. May the architect be high-minded, not arrogant, but faithful. Daw, high standards, pero wag mayabang, because it is a noble profession. Even self-advertisements are not allowed in the code of ethics. Also, product promotion over other products, it has to be fair. Do not prioritize receiving gifts, wag puro rin pera-pera ang laging habol. But preserve your good name because that is the main referral promotion marketing that you have. For now, ibig sabihin, let others recommend you based on your work and your character. But if you're more into the fine arts, there's another course for that. 74 is like 79 to other courses. 75 is like passing. 76, you're already good enough, mostly. If you reach the line of nines, usually they see maybe you have no social life. But it's okay to be grade conscious, but learn that clients in the real world are all different and will not give you a high grade, sometimes based on bias. For example, I carefully finished 20 pages of reports, essays, and illustrations just for the instructor to see the cover page and sign it. I was like, ma'am, but you only checked the cover page. She said, it's okay, pass, even without looking inside. And that's why I focus first on what's important, discarte, how your client and professor are like. Now see all this math, checking the angle of the sun and the shadow effects, just to design a canopy well, or sun breaks, sunshades to cover your window from the heat and glare. Samantalang after school, nilagay mo na lang yan kasi magandang tignan. We have to design ledges well with a purpose and intent. That's how architects do tropical design. No offense po, pero bakit yung mga bagong archi tila mahihina sa structural design, estimate at hindi marunong gumamit ng scientific calculator, pero yung ninong kong architect nung graduate ng 1990, magaling sa math, calculus, trigo, Seymour. I agree, that's prominent now and many architects tend not to specialize on construction, direct estimates, and structural conceptualization. Conceptualization is different from structural analysis, huh? This means to consider the strength of the structure while doing space planning. But there are many who have direct hands-on in the field, especially those who do site supervision during apprenticeship, when you actually work with the engineers and workers and ask around and learn. I guess you could say it's like getting a driver's license. Not all who are licensed necessarily know how to drive, follow traffic rules, or are good drivers. License doesn't automatically guarantee expertise, although it should. Dati kasi ang board exam, you will design talaga. You will draft a solution to a problem. And now it's more of multiple choice. Well, you still need to draft, pero minsan, higher chance of guessing. Bigla na lang pumasa, hindi pala magaling. Magulat ka. I could think of two situations. Either number one, the architect didn't really care about construction and contractor methods. During his apprenticeship, maybe he focused more on design and drafting and render competitions because they are prominent now. Lumion, V-Ray, ganon. So during apprenticeship, maybe it's purely office works and he can estimate but it tends to go over or under budget because kulang nga sa construction experience. Number two, the architect as a contractor may be in dispute with the structural engineer, his supposed ally. Pinaka-partner natin ang engineer. So baka nag-away sila. Gusto ni Archie ganito, engineer says no. Or maybe engineer wants like this and Archie says no. That's why instead of coordinating, they are fighting each other. And maybe that's when they don't learn to work together. And that's why the young architects maybe lack insight for structural conceptualization, even if they should consider all engineering basics during the planning stage. But when I was in school, we were kind of forced to have actual experiences due to the professor's styles. So many of our graduates, even if not top-notchers in theory, have always a great reputation in the construction industry kasi license na nga, marunong na kaagad sa leadership and construction management, coordinating with allied professionals, which is a great networking skill, especially if you want to build. So that was written 2021, and from 2017, I just saw it now. Well, as licensed architects, we have internal conflicts as well with organizations and legalities.